Single mom sat alone at a wedding. The CEO whispered, "Pretend I'm your husband tonight." Clara's hands trembled slightly as she smoothed the folds of her navy dress, the one she'd bought on sale just a week ago. Weddings had always been a bitter reminder. Happy couples surrounded by laughter, flowers, and champagne, while she juggled bills, bedtime stories, and daycare pickups. Tonight she was a guest, technically, but she was alone. Her plus one unable to make it, leaving her feeling exposed in a sea of elegant gowns and sparkling ties. She perched on the edge of a chair in the corner of the grand hall, staring at the twinkling lights above, wishing she could disappear into the music. Every couple passing by reminded her that she was, in every practical sense, invisible. Then she felt it, a hand gently touching her shoulder. She turned, startled, and met the most striking blue eyes she'd ever seen. He looked out of place, or maybe he just belonged to a different world altogether, immaculately dressed, calm, confident. He offered a small, knowing smile. "Mind if I sit?" he asked. Before Clara could respond, he slid into the chair beside her, almost seamlessly blending into the hum of the reception. "I'm David," he said, introducing himself. "I noticed you were alone. Thought you might like some company." Clara's cheeks warmed. She was about to politely decline when David leaned in, whispering so no one else could hear. "Pretend I'm your husband tonight. Nobody has to know. Let's make this fun." Her heart skipped. It was audacious, bold, a little ridiculous, and yet there was something in his eyes that made her want to trust him. Clara laughed, a little nervously, and agreed. "All right, but just for tonight." For the next hour, David became her partner in every sense. He danced with her under the sparkling chandelier, laughed at the awkward speeches, and even whispered jokes that made her forget the world outside that hall. Clara's son would have called her heart happy if he could see it now. She had forgotten what it felt like to be seen, not as a struggling single mom, but as a woman who could shine, even for just a few hours. And then the unexpected happened. During the toast, David raised his glass and, in a quiet but firm voice, addressed the entire room. "Tonight, I'd like to toast someone remarkable, a mother who her cheeks burned. But for the first time in years, it wasn't embarrassment, it was pride. She realized that being seen didn't require perfection, just courage. And here was a man who had noticed her courage and celebrated it in front of everyone. After the applause faded, David leaned closer, his voice soft. "You don't have to pretend anymore," he said, squeezing her hand. "Tonight I just wanted you to feel the way you deserve to feel, noticed, appreciated, and celebrated." Clara smiled, a warm, genuine smile that reached her eyes. She felt lighter, as if a weight she didn't realize she'd been carrying had lifted. Dancing again, laughing again, she remembered what it felt like to believe in possibilities, not just for a night, but for life. As the evening drew to a close, David walked her to the door. Outside, the cool night air carried the faint scent of flowers from the reception hall. She hesitated, unsure how to thank him for a kindness so unexpected. "Clara," he said, "kindness doesn't need a reason. Sometimes it's just about making someone's night a little brighter. I hope tonight reminded you that you deserve brightness every day." For the first time in a long time, Clara didn't feel alone. She thought about her son, about the small victories in her life, and about the importance of accepting help and warmth when it's offered. Walking home, she realized that sometimes the simplest gestures, a dance, a kind word, a shared smile, could leave a lasting mark. And in that moment, Clara knew she would never underestimate the power of compassion again. The night wasn't just about pretending. It was about remembering that every person, no matter how busy, tired, or alone, deserves to be seen, celebrated, and loved. Clara felt a warmth in her chest she hadn't experienced in years. The room seemed to melt away, leaving just the two of them in a quiet bubble of understanding. She laughed softly, shaking her head. "I didn't expect any of this. I've spent so long just surviving, I forgot what it felt like to live." David smiled, a hint of admiration in his eyes. "Sometimes all it takes is one person noticing you. One moment of kindness can remind you that you're more than your struggles." As the night wore on, they danced again, letting the music guide them. Clara's laugh rang freely, blending with the soft notes of the live band. For once, she wasn't the tired single mom juggling responsibilities. She was simply Clara, a woman capable of joy, of connection, of feeling alive. Near the end of the reception, David walked her to the entrance. The crisp night air brushed against her face, carrying the faint scent of flowers from the reception hall. Clara hesitated, unsure of what to say. David reached out, gently touching her hand. Clara, kindness doesn't need a reason. Sometimes it's just about making someone feel seen. I hope tonight reminded you that you deserve to be celebrated. Not just tonight, but every day. Her heart swelled. For the first time in a long time, Clara didn't feel alone. She thought of her son and the small victories of her daily life, and she realized that accepting help, warmth, and joy wasn't weakness, it was strength. Thank you, David, she whispered, her eyes shimmering, for everything. I'll never forget this night. As she walked toward the waiting cab, she carried with her a renewed sense of possibility. She knew now that small gestures of kindness could ripple far beyond a single moment. And in that realization, Clara found hope, not just for herself, but for the life she wanted to create for her son. The night had started with loneliness and hesitation, but it ended with connection, laughter, and a reminder that everyone deserves to be seen, appreciated, and celebrated.